Your sleep environment can make a big difference to how well you actually get a good sleep at night time. The difference can be profound. And to demonstrate that, try sleeping in an empty room with only a bed and nothing else in there, and you will notice how much better you sleep. It is very strange, but the unconscious brain it picks up on anything it sees, and then it'll tie that to whatever story is in our head or whatever is going on, whatever may have happened there. So the more of those things that we see, the more likely we're to get triggered into this unconscious thought, which may then haunt us throughout the night. So I know you know what we're talking about here, because it could be one little thing that just keeps you awake all night, just doesn't shut your brain off. So some other things that are really important is if you have a laptop, make sure it's closed. Preferably take it out of the room, but you've got to do what you've got to do. Books really should be closed as well. Papers put away. Same thing, if you can put books in a drawer or something so you can't see them, then you're not unconsciously picking that up as well. A clean room is a great room. Again, same sort of thing, unconscious brain. So if you can limit the amount of stuff in your room, try and keep your bedroom for sleeping and, well, sex, but sleeping predominantly, and that's really your main sort of thing if you can. The room's got to be dark, so try and get it as dark as possible. Blackout curtains can be great. Cover any LEDs if you have any devices in your room, whether it be a laptop or a charger or any of those sorts of things. Just make sure that little bit of light is covered up, because that can be enough to disturb you as well. If you do have electronic devices, they are best outside of the room. I know this is not always able to be done, but that is your ideal situation. Otherwise, unplugging them will help. At least that's something. And yeah, so your phone really should be away from your bed because it emits radiation. That's the same reason with the other electronic devices, emitting small amounts of radiation. We just need to keep away from as much of that as possible. Body's already toxic, run down, tired, or what have you. We don't need any more of that. Plus, with the phone away from the bed, it's less of a distraction to wake up and, oh, I better just check this thing. Oh, I just check my email, I'll just check Facebook, I'll just check if anyone sent me a text or something important, or I'm not sleeping, I wonder what the time is. Alright, that sort of stuff is not important. It's really just a distraction from what's going on and you trying to get yourself back into just a regular sleep routine. Now, phones have lots of cool settings on them these days to help you with your sleep environment. So with your phone, I have an iPhone. iPhone has a night shift mode, and it also, you can put a red filter on there, and the red filter will make things a whole lot easier for the eyes. So I tend to use that later in the evening, and I'll keep my night shift on all day. You can get Flux for the laptop, which means you can probably get Flux for a Android phone as well. Flux is the same sort of principle as your night shift, where it tries to take away the blue light that's more stimulating, and then it'll sort of modulate that throughout the day as into how bright or how dull it is based on the time of day and what time you would generally go to sleep. Your bed, you want your bed to be comfortable. So if you've got an old bed and it needs to be replaced, well, that's a great place to start. And same thing with pillows. If you've got old pillows, they could be all musty, smelly, there could be mold and stuff in there. You don't know. That can be a trigger. Try and replace that stuff if it is time to be replaced and if you can afford to. Same as your bedding, try and keep your bedding with natural natural fibres. So I always have cotton sheets, and I like wool blankets or cotton blankets whenever I can get hold of them. Same thing, I just like my body to be able to breathe. It feels a lot better for me, makes a big difference. Fresh air is also important. Not always possible in winter, but even if you're just leaving your window open through the day so you're getting some fresh air in before you go to sleep, if you have to close the windows up, that's okay, because at least you've got some fresh air in there to get you through the night. It does make a huge difference. Another really good idea is to have a fan running. So a fan, just the act of the blade spinning, will use friction to pick up any of the particles, dust particles and stuff, and filter the air, and they're all attracted to the fan blades, and that's why you see all of the dust hanging off those fan blades. If you are hot, and this is something that I get, or I certainly have had, where my feet are cold but my head is hot, and I would go to sleep even in the middle of the winter and I'm burning up. So what I would do, I'd get a wet face cloth and I would put that over my face and cover my eyes, so then it's even darker and nice and cool. If I'm really hot, or if I ended up getting a migraine or something like that, quite often I would put an ice pack in there as well, and that would just help to cool everything down and allow me to sleep better that way. You can now get pillows that are cooled like that. You can get a chili pad, which you can set the temperature like just inside your mattress there, so you're lying on this thing that puts your body at an ideal temperature and makes it easier for you to sleep. And you can have a single one. If you sleep next to somebody else, they can have another one set at their own temperature as well, so you're not always fighting over, you know, the blankets and trying to get that right, because that can be very difficult. So do your best to set up this sleep environment. You can't get everything done immediately, but you know what, start working on a few little things here and there, and again, it's just going to take a little bit of time. But that time is worth it, and the better that sleep environment gets, the better your sleep is going to get, and the faster you're going to be able to recover.